It's been 12 years since Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare had released, and since then the game and the franchise in general has been one of the biggest in gaming history. And now here we are 12 years later, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare has been rebooted by Infinity Ward. There have been a lot of ups and a lot of downs for Call of Duty. So is this one the return to form? Well, let's get into it. My name's Caboose. What's going on, Collider Games fans? This is my review of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the reboot to the franchise. So I want to jump right in and just get into the things that I like about this game, and one of them is the fact that it does really feel like a return to form, and this feels like the most traditional Call of Duty that we've gotten in a long while. And granted, Call of Duty has finally started to ditch all the crazy changes that they've been adding to the game. We've had boots on the ground for a little while now, but this definitely feels very true to form, especially if you're a big fan of Call of Duty 4 or MW2 or even MW3. So I appreciate that they're just keeping boots on the ground, that they're keeping things simplistic. There are some advanced mechanics in the game, and there are some new features to the game that have been added that I really do like. However, for the most part, it's Call of Duty in its truest form, and that's just winning gunfights and having a blast with the kill streaks and all that fun stuff. So overall, in that regard, when it comes to the multiplayer, when it comes to feeling like Call of Duty, they did a good job here, and I appreciate what they've done. There's a nice variety of weapons, there's a nice variety of kill streaks and perks and all sorts of different ways you can mix and match your character to make sure that you're playing at the best that you can or to your specific strengths when you jump online. I also love the fact that crossplay is fully enabled here. You do have the option to turn off crossplay if you'd like. If you just want to play on your console of preference, that is available to you. However, if you want to jump into Ground War, which is the massive multiplayer mode, that is where crossplay needs to be enabled, and it's actually a lot of fun being able to play with not just PC players, but also people on the PlayStation. I think that is awesome, and this is a huge step for gaming in general. I gotta say though, I'm not the biggest fan of the maps. There are way too many vantage points on each map that allow you to just control a good chunk of the game if you have a good enough aim, and it's really difficult to take people out when they take control of those vantage points. There are a lot of windows, a lot of hiding spots, and it seems a lot of the maps in Call of Duty Modern Warfare really help promote a camping playstyle where you just park yourself in a position, drop a claymore from any spot that somebody can flank you, and just hold that position for the rest of the game. I don't know, maybe it just has something to do with me not being as good as I was at this game anymore. Maybe it just has something to do with all these players jumping in and being much better than I am. So I don't know really what it is, but the maps just don't feel up to snuff with this game compared to some of the previous games that we've gotten through this franchise. Overall though, when we're talking about the multiplayer, I think they've done a good job here. I like some of the adjustments that have been made. I like some of the different intricacies to the multiplayer. I'll have a tips video out really soon in order to help you improve if you're not so good of a player. Some sort of beginner tips for Call of Duty Modern Warfare's multiplayer, but keep an eye out for that. But regarding the multiplayer just in general, I think Infinity Ward has done a good job. I think it's solid. There are some improvements that I hope are to be made soon, but overall, it's fun. You're going to have a good time if you're decent at the game. If you're not so good, maybe not so much. I will say though, I absolutely love Gunfight. This is such an amazing mode added to this game. I wasn't able to try it out during the alpha or the beta, so finally getting my hands on the full game, I was able to try out this mode, and it is some of the most fun I have had playing a Call of Duty game, bar none. The intensity of it is incredible. I love the map layout for some of the different maps that are available in this mode. I love the fact that your loadout changes every couple of rounds, so you can't get comfortable with a specific weapon. You're always having to play on your toes, and you're always having to be ready for something brand new being thrown your way, whether it's a shotgun loadout or whether it's just a loadout with a pistol, whatever it might be. I love that stuff. It is so much fun. So while I can't say I found that same enjoyment in the rest of the multiplayer available in this game, Gunfight is some of the most fun I've had in Call of Duty, and it is something that I will definitely be playing a lot of through the many hours that I will log into this game. But alright, we've talked enough about the multiplayer. Now let's talk about a mode that was missing last year with Black Ops 4, and that's the fact that we actually have a campaign, a story mode in this game. And I will say that I like it, but there are some things that I'm not the biggest fan of. So I love that Captain Price is back here. They really recaptured the gravitas and the on-screen presence that this character brings with this game that they got in the original Modern Warfare. So kudos to Infinity Ward for being able to pull that off. He is such an awesome character, and I'm really glad that he is back in this game. And the game feels very cinematic. The story mode feels very cinematic. It feels very much like we're watching a movie play out, and there are some sections that we get to take control of. So I liked that. I liked how cinematic it felt. Obviously, it adds to that with the pre-rendered cutscenes. And granted, some of the pre-rendered cutscenes dipped my frames a little bit, but it was great to see, and the facial animations and the graphics there are really top-notch. There's some interesting missions, some real good creativity there. It isn't just run around and shoot things all the time, although there is plenty of that. I like that there was a bit of creativity here, and we've seen that in previous Call of Duty campaigns as well. So I'm glad that they've brought that back here in this game, and there are going to be a couple of missions here where you're going to notice that it's something you've never done in a Call of Duty game before, so I really like that. I like the innovation, and I like the creativity with the missions. The only unfortunate thing about the campaign is that it doesn't stick around for very long. This is a really short story mode for Call of Duty, and it is unfortunate in my opinion that it is this short, especially considering the fact that we didn't even have one for an entire year with Black Ops 4. I can appreciate that the game doesn't want to overstay its welcome. Not every campaign needs to be like 10 to 20 hours or something like that. I just thought that maybe it would be a little longer. It's really short. Honestly, it's not very long. If you're running through it, if you're playing missions at a decent pace, you're going to be done this campaign in 3 to 4 hours. And another thing, although it's not necessarily a complaint, it's just more of an observation in that the game gets very edgy. There are some missions that are extremely intense, and if you're somebody that gets a little turned off by that, by the extreme violence of it, this may be something that you want to tread lightly around. There are plenty of warning messages in-game before you jump into the campaign to let you know, hey, this is pretty violent. It does get pretty intense. If you're not about that, you might not want to play it. So I like that Infinity Ward was able to add those messages in, but just to reinforce it, just to let you know once again, it is very intense. It is very edgy. If that's not something you're about, then you might want to stay away from the campaign. So this is a good step in the right direction for Call of Duty, I feel. And I feel we have actually been going in the right direction with Call of Duty, at least somewhat. There have been quite a few setbacks for sure, and I definitely don't like the loot boxes, and I think that is something that has been an absolute plague to this franchise. But with Modern Warfare, it looks like we're starting to really head into the right direction. There still are a couple of setbacks. There still are a couple of issues and concerns that I have with the game, but I have enjoyed my time playing it. There haven't been moments where I'm like, you know what? I hate this, and that's a good thing, I guess. It's still a little frustrating playing multiplayer, but that's just because I'm not the best at multiplayer. That can't really be a complaint against the multiplayer itself. I think the map design needs some work, and the campaign is a little short-lived, but this is a good Call of Duty game, and if you're into the franchise, this is definitely worth a pickup. I'm going to be giving Call of Duty Modern Warfare a 7.5 out of 10. And now I'm going to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you had a chance to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare? And if so, what did you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you could drop a like on it, and as well subscribe to the Collider Games channel for more gaming coverage. I've been Caboose, and you can follow me on Twitter. The link for that is going to be in the description. And I will see you guys later.